Welcome to the Round 5 review for Supercoach 2023. It's George from Fantasy Take TV. This week we scored 2,349 and we are ranked 29k, which is better than last week, but not good enough. Not what we were hoping for, but hopefully we can climb and do something respectable over the next few weeks. See how we go. Our trades were good and bad. We'll get to that in a second. So little bit unlucky with trades, I think. We'll show you why in a sec, but very, very frustrating. But did get Dawson in, so can't complain too much. So did Amanar with a few budget options like a Red Richards or a Baker. Definitely shouldn't have even thought about Richards now in hindsight. Now that Johannesson's taking heaps of kick-ins as well, which doesn't help. Doesn't quite have the ceiling. But yeah, fortunately the Bevo factor put me off that one. And then Liam Baker, I love Liam Baker at the moment. Got him in fantasy and he's been outstanding. But I do wonder if Short plays a little bit, floats back a little bit and eats into his score like he did round one. But maybe they play Short up the ground. So Jake Lloyd as well is an interesting one. I can't get a proper read on what he's going to average. I think it may be like 100 to 105 it looks like. But I could definitely see him regressing a little bit under. Just so many Sydney defenders are scoring incredibly well. Even Mills scored well when he went back there. So I don't know if that's sustainable or not. So maybe I should just stay out of it and maybe look at it post-buy or something. It's like a D6. I don't know, but thought about it though. He kind of looks better than Sicily, but yeah, lots to discuss there. Rather, nearly started on a word 4 times. But yeah, also Gather Round in Cromland or Dawson Town, as we should now call it. Yeah, Gather Round was a massive hit. Looks like it's just cool to see Victorians just talk about places in South Australia and whatnot. So yeah, obviously a SA boy, so love the state. So yeah, good for the state, and yeah, capitalism at its finest, fending off all the other states. So Gather Round is here for the next 3 years. So Gather Round. Also caught up with SDS Supercoach. Shout out to him. He said he was coming down. He said, "Do you want to come to a game?" So we went to the Giants versus who they play. Giants versus Hawthorn game. Man, that was a good game. Really close at the end. Could have gone either way, so that was good. Yeah, good to see. A lot of Giants supporters, which was good. So yeah, just seeing everyone with all their different footy colours everywhere, wherever you go, like on the street, supermarket, like wherever. Yeah, good for SAs. But we'll get into the Supercoach team. So what we did last week, we traded Ollie Hollands instead of Cam McKenzie. The reason was we needed to get up to Dawson from Doherty, and I didn't know Thursday night that Cam McKenzie was going to be sub, and I figured, well, they've dropped Day, he might get good CBAs, he could easily pull out a 90 and will get burnt by not having him. But looks like they played Ned Long in the midfield in the first half, I think. Took that spot, and McKenzie was a sub, came on and did nothing. So would have been nice if I knew that he was going to be the sub on Thursday night, but I didn't know. So threw away 20k and have all these crushed rookies like a Baker and McKenzie and Kinby, and no Hollands, who's ticking along and great job security. Looks fantastic. So that's very annoying. So slight blunder, a little bit unlucky though. Didn't want to get rid of him, but to get the man Jordan Dawson, sometimes you have to make some sacrifices. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we can do with the next trades, because we haven't had a chance to get rid of Chesser because of other stuff that we deal with, like your Darcy Cameron and whatnot. So probably have to upgrade around him and maybe sideways him maybe next week or something. Just depends if we can do anything or not, but need to get upgrades in and get some more points on the field. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, the defense was outstanding. Yeah, Dawson we spoke about. In the midfield, he's nuts. He's just, it does everything. Marks around the ground, tackles, wins a few clearances, and then when he gets the ball on the outside, he just hits a dagger to, Fogarty or Tex or Rankin or whoever. Just, good forward line is definitely helping him. Just unbelievable Supercoach scorer. I think he could do 120 plus in this role by the looks of it, but we'll see how he goes. So yeah, his break even is 50 and he's 655k, so he's probably gone if you don't have him, but still kind of value, I guess. Depends what you think he'll average. I didn't see the Collingwood game versus Saints, but Dacos very good, I assume. So Ginby looks like he's struggling a bit sore. every chance to be managed. Like, do they even bother bringing him to Adelaide Oval when, you know, banged up, poking the eye was probably nothing, but yeah, they had to take him off the field. So obviously he plays a bit of a taxing style, a bit contested, so young guy, so unfortunate because I thought he'd make a lot more money and he could be a hold. Oh shit, 81 break even. Okay, he's gone. He could definitely reset that, but he could also lose money, so I'd rather not take that risk. McKenna did nothing for the first half and then better second half. Cowan we fielded over Wilmot, so we took Tyler Young's score. So the reason for this was, I mean, this is how we were set up, and I figured I didn't want to straight field Young because he scored 30 in round 1, so I played a bit of fear there, but yeah, took like a really strong contested intercept, so if you didn't take that, probably would have scored in the 40s. And then I figured, well, maybe we'll just loop Young and Wilmot. Wilmot's playing wing, but playing north, so hindsight. But yeah, they dropped McGovern, no Doherty, so I figured maybe that helps Cowan. Apparently not, so it's his break even. 22. We'll hold Cowan for now. Maybe get another 30, 40k if we're lucky. Chester's a big problem, and then yeah, Tyler Young has been, and Wilmot as well has been good. So Young's been a great pickup, so he should make 100k by next week. But then Broad comes back, and then Gibcus the week after, I believe. But they might slow build Gibcus because of the serious hamstring. So hopefully he keeps playing with Broad because he's playing alright. His one-on-one percentage is like one of the best in the league at the moment. So hopefully that goes well. So brought in Oliver a few weeks ago. It's given us a 120 and a 115. So that is not good. And his break-even's very high. But I guess that can happen when you play when you pay this much money. That being said, he looks fitter this year. He's covering the ground even better, for sure. And he has this fixture where like a monster is around the corner. Like Richmond give up to mids. North gave Neil 170, 180 points, and then he's got he has Gold Coast who are terrible, and then I think he's got another soft one, and then Hawthorn. So the fixture's nuts, and I figured might as well get him in because it's going to be very hard to bring in. So I think a massive one's around the corner. It'll drop a little bit, but not much. So happy to have Clary. Yeah, I didn't know which player to pick. Maybe it was Took, but like Took at the time dropped 30k that same week. So whoever we got, I felt like would have dropped in price. And then Stu was coming back from the injury. And then yes, Stuart, I don't know, just injury prone, but scores. He looks like there's a clear top 3 defenders at the moment. Laird was solid. Good to see him bounce back. Bont was very good, 145. Seems to go missing for 1 quarter every week. If he can just play 4 quarters, he'll score 140 every week. Or 150 or whatever. Tom Green, 97. So he's just sitting at that price. So he's been good for DT. Supercoach been like pretty I think GDOS aren't very good, which isn't great. Setterfield 91, what's his break even? So first quarter, I don't think he was in Clary much in the first quarter from what I saw, but I could be wrong. But that's what the commentary was saying, but definitely in the second quarter he was hanging off him. Clary got a bit unlucky in the first quarter, I think. Just couldn't get near the ball, or he could, but just kept getting burnt all the time, didn't fall his way sort of thing, and then yeah, ended up with 40 touches anyway. But Setterfield was fine. We can hold him for a little bit longer. Hopper, what's his break even? 46, which is pretty nice. So we need him to keep scoring well. Hopefully he can tick to 500 and be a buy flip. Playing well, Jacob Hopper. Had 2 down games, 2 really good games, so take the good with the bad. Ashcroft, what's his break even? 44, not ready to cut yet. And then Baker's got a low break even, and Mackenzie's 89 and gone. So he's got to go. Davey didn't play, hopefully he comes back, and then Constable again. I think most people will have a dead Constable, hoping he will come back. English and Marshall, so 123 from Marshall in the easiest matchup you can possibly have is not ideal. 77 break even, so I think Shrek's ahead of him. I don't know how to make that move though. I think you just got to back in Marshall, hopefully he hits form at some point. I think he will. The forward line, Dunks was good. Taranto solid as usual. Tigers in a bit of trouble, I think. Yeah, I don't know where they're at. Sydney were pretty good though. Sydney are a pretty good team. They've had a difficult fixture. Rosie, good comeback towards the end of the game. Gordon, 88, that's solid. What's he averaging? 99. Hopefully a monsters around the corner for Gordon. And then Zeeble and Sheasel. Well, I think Zeebel's good enough to keep it D6 and she's on the forward line. So I think you can never be sure because it's still early, but you think they've got decent keeper potential. Green's ticking along very good. Break even of -15. So he's been a good, very nice rook. So he should get to 300 no problem with 270s in his system. And Van Ruin to get a 50 in the wet. And the good thing about Van Ruin is he looked better than Tom McDonald and what's his name? Ben Brown, not too sure, has had a bit of a troubling back issue. So I don't know if it's going to get better, but yeah, must be, I don't know if it's continuous or not, but it's been a few weeks now where it's troubled him. So I think he keeps playing. I'd be shocked if they can't possibly drop him ahead of Tom McDonald from what I saw, but you never know. So I think, yeah, that's the team. So I think the biggest worry is just Chesser being dead and not having replaced him, because I think we're going to run out of cash to upgrade at some point. It might even be next week because players aren't ready to be cut. So for the trades this week, we'll go through a list of targets, but we need to trade Ginby, 80, 90 break even, and McKenzie, so they can both go. And the first target is Roberts for sure. So he looks pretty good. It was on 80 halfway through the second quarter. Kind of faded out a little bit. So he's definitely in. And then the next one is Mitchell. Now this is a bit early. I should go Matthew Johnson, I think, who looked alright. Kicked a nice goal that propped up his score. But I thought he looked good. And if they don't play O'Meara at Freo, I think they should give games to Matthew Johnson. But with Brody back, Johnson might be relegated to wing half forward, so it might be a slow burn in that role. But if he can get some mid-time, he'll be alright. But I do like him a lot. I think Fremantle, with the way they're playing, I think it'd be silly not to play him. But I'm not Justin Longmuir, so I don't know what they're going to do. And the other one who can go is probably Oscar Baker, who's killed his cash gen. So that means... what are we doing? So Chesser goes here. Zeeble goes there. Matt Roberts on field goes there. That gets us 580k. So it's not enough for Took. It's not enough for Neil. So I know the plays that I want. Oh shit, Sarong's doing 112. I knew he'd been good, but didn't realise that good. Pendles is still up there. Libba's been up. I don't want Libba though, he's 30, but if he was 27, sure. LDU, I don't know if I want LDU. The goal he didn't play. I don't know what was wrong. I don't know if it was COVID or injured, I don't know, but... So the one that I want here is most definitely Zach Merritt. Now, unfortunately, he's suspended for a week as it stands. So if we don't get Merritt, we'll check the list in a moment, but we're going to execute these trades. But these have definitely been my trades, I think. Yeah, Seamus Mitchell, I think you can go early on him. It's a little risky, but I thought he looked really good. Does the hard stuff, looked fine at the level. I think he had one bad turnover early, but other than that, I think he holds. I think they persist with him. I'll have to go through their best 22 and whatnot and who's coming through and just to double check, but I think he's a future piece for them down back. So let's just put Sheasel down back, so just for fun. So that means field Wilmot, and hopefully Tom Green doesn't get suspended for his tackle. So we could be in a bit of strife. Probably just field Fergus Green or something there. So in terms of defense, I think the defense is very good. We've got Sheasel D4 now. McKenna, Wilmot. I think we can just keep fielding Wilmot for the time being. Averaging 60, so I think that's all you want from him. Play the Giants, who should be an easy kill for them. Giants best is good, but I don't know, they should really put Hawthorn to the sword, not just beat them based on a touch on the line. Young and Cowan, I think Cowan will be dead soon, but Young's making some good money, so I think it's a fine. I guess Tom Stewart might get away from us, but I think we'll just death ride like we usually do and but something seems to go wrong with him every year. But regardless, if something does, you probably sell him for like 640k. Midfield, Oliver Laird, Bont, Merritt Green. I'm pretty stoked with that, to be honest. Definitely would like Took and Neil, but their time will come, hopefully. Setterfield and Hopper and Ashcroft. So I think it's quite strong on field. I guess Roberts, hopefully he can get the job done, and Mitchell down back has a decent role where he can get the ball. They play at Tasmania, plenty of room for marks there, I think. So, quite happy with the on-field setup, quite happy with the team. 23 trades is very low, and I don't even know what we'd do next week. I think maybe Cowan down to somebody, and then we'd have to go Davey down or something. I don't know. Davey can probably get 2 more price rises and then go Setterfield up or to Took or something. This is where no Chandler. Imagine if we had Chandler instead of Chess, and bang, that's 200k, 220k, whatever that will be in the next few weeks. And that's an easy Setterfield to Took, so that's a little bit frustrating. Wilmot can probably slow burn to 300, so I don't think getting rid of him is smart. What's his projected? 60, 60, 60. If he keeps going 60, he'll get to 300k. If he goes 60 next week, he'll get to 260. So I think he's 2 weeks away, probably. Probably sell him around here. It won't make much more money. Not sure he has the ceiling in him because of the wing roll, but we'll see how we go. So maybe, Wilmot, maybe 2 more weeks. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe we just correct Chesser and get rid of Cowan and then sit on that and prepare to upgrade the week after. Just, like Van Ruin, Fergus Green, McKenna, like they're not ready yet to cull, so see how we go. Now, if Merritt gets off, if Merritt doesn't get off, and I think he will get off because if you look at the tackle, his shoulder, he takes the impact first. Like the head touches the ground, but Merritt takes the impact first, and I don't think there's no way that's medium impact in my opinion, but I'm not Michael Christian or whatever. So what defender do we even want? Well, Sard's hamstring, no. Well, Jake Lloyd is at 107 at the moment. Could have kicked a goal, could have been much better. So I don't even hate Jake Lloyd. Baker's been pretty good. I worry about Short slightly. If Short floats back, I think that eats into Baker. Tom Stewart, I probably definitely need him, to be honest. Blakey, nah. Rampy, no. Wilkie's pretty good, but no. Well, there's Sinclair and Sicily are sitting at D15, D17. So are Sinclair and Sicily still top 6? I think so. I think they're not top tier because for whatever reason Sinclair's tackle numbers have fallen off a cliff, or they've dropped by 2, which is a lot. And Sicily isn't getting the kick-ins. He's letting everyone else take the kick-ins. What I will say about Sicily is this game, even though he did kick a goal, small ground is not good for Sicily because not much room for cheap marks. And that's pretty much it, really. So he hasn't gone above 113, which is what he averaged last year. But his break-even's 150. So Sicily's straight in the next 2 weeks, and I think projected 290s. So if he goes up, say 200s, it'll be 520. He's not going to keep going 90. Yeah, 520 for Sicily. I think at Tasmania, I think that's a good against the Crows as well, who should get lots of entries. I think that's a good matchup for Sicily. So yeah, I think Sicily in 2 weeks, maybe next week even. We'll see how he goes. Definitely a target. And then probably Sinclair will drop a little bit more. Sinclair's averaging 28 touches a game, so I think the numbers are fine. It's just the tackle numbers have dropped a little bit, and the marks as well. Probably a cause from the Ross Lyon coaching, moving it a bit more direct. So I think that's where we'll leave it now. I think we might have to go Sinclair if Merritt doesn't get up, which is very annoying. Or we'd trade Ashcroft, which I think is a horrific idea because you want him on field for a bit longer, maybe 2 weeks or something. So yeah, we need to get Took in pretty quick. Plays North this week at home, so that's a bit worrying, but hopefully it doesn't go too berserk. But anyway, that's it from me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.